McCoys, running the full court. Yeah. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North.
Good evening, everybody. What's up? What's good? And welcome to All About Sports 216 The Show. And I am your host today, Mr. Keith Allen, on this Thursday evening. Matter of fact, on this Thursday evening, how are y'all doing? How is your day going? A little chilly outside. It's like 58 degrees. Man, after all this time, it's been in the 80s and everything. But I guess we're entrenched in the season of autumn. So, hey, let's go. Let's go. I got a lot of things to talk about today here on All About Sports 216 The Show. Today, I got some interesting stuff. The Cleveland Browns are willing and dealing this week. They're making trades. They made 2 this week. Then also, the Cleveland Browns also match up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll talk about that. Ohio State matches up against the Fighting Illini this Saturday. Should be interesting on the road. Then I'll change the subject over to baseball, where Cleveland Guardians star Jose Ramirez is not happy with the front office. He is not happy with the front office. Then the Cleveland Cavaliers started their preseason a couple days ago against the Chicago Bulls. And at the end of the show, quick picks. Boy, I'm doing bad on the picks this week. Well, last week I did real bad. I was 2-4. Real bad, but we go to the quick picks and then we'll end the show and everything and stuff and all this. But we're going to go to the Cleveland Browns making trades. But first, I got to give you a word from my sponsor real quick. Anointed Angel Apparel, where faith, family, and fashion come together. From stylish t-shirts and cozy sweatshirts to dazzling bling rhinestone shirts that shine with purpose, we design every piece with God at the center. But we don't stop there. Discover personalized tumblers, beautiful photo slates, custom engraving, and even UV 3D textured home decor items that make your house a home. In every design, Anointed Angel Apparel carries a message of hope, faith, and love, because we're more than a brand. We're a family business devoted to lifting up the name of Jesus. Shop with us today and wear your faith boldly. Anointed Angel Apparel, where your testimony becomes your style. Email anointedangel.apparel.com for a custom consultation. Okay. Now let me get off here right quick. I'm back. Definitely back. Let me let you know a few things first before I get started. The chat lines are open. Feel free to holler at me. The chat lines are open. Also, I'm about to have scrolling at the bottom. Subscribe if you already haven't. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, watching on Instagram, on X, and if you do got a YouTube account, please subscribe to the Alan Viz Media 2 YouTube channel. That's right, the Alan Viz Media 2 YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that. I need all the subscribers I can get. I need the loyal few. I don't need the super many, but I damn sure need the loyal few. Do that. Definitely do that. My screen looks a little off because of sunlight and everything and stuff like that, but I'm going to make it work today. I'm definitely going to make it work today. And also be reminded also that this show comes on every Thursday at 6 p.m. That's right. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Now, first subject of this show. The Cleveland Browns are making trades this week. Man, they're making trades. First, they got us earlier this week on Tuesday when the Cleveland Browns traded Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals. They traded Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals for a fifth-round pick for Joe Flacco and a fifth-round pick in 2026 in exchange for Joe Flacco and a 2026 sixth-round pick. Kind of caught me off guard and kind of caught me by surprise because, one, Joe Flacco is a veteran. He is a veteran presence, especially in a quarterback room where you have two rookies, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Flacco was that common veteran presence. And I'm kind of shocked that they traded Joe Flacco. And I'm kind of shocked that Cincinnati inquired to get him, which tells you that the Bengals are in trouble. Now, I will say this with the Joe Flacco trade. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it turns out for Joe Flacco. I wish Joe Flacco good luck and everything. Thanks for 2023. You provided excitement in 2023. Now, this year didn't go so good, but to be honest, the Cincinnati game, he actually played well. He didn't have no help from the receivers, and a lot of the offensive woes weren't all Joe Flacco's fault. I think there's a little bit of the coaching with Stefanski, I'm going to be honest. And the fact you turned Joe Flacco into something that he's not. He is not a check down artist. He's a quarterback gunslinger, likes to throw the ball. But we turned him into a check down Charlie. And that wasn't cool. And then his receivers didn't help him out at all. Jared Judy and Cedric Tillman and whoever didn't help him out. Didn't do him no favors. But altogether, I wish Joe Flacco good luck down in Cincinnati and everything. And, he got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to throw to. Chase Brown, now the offensive line is trash at Cincinnati. The offensive line is trash. But, hey, we'll see what happens with Joe Flacco in Cincinnati and stuff. So, wouldn't it be something if Joe Flacco beats the Browns in December when they play? That would be something. And Joe Flacco is scheduled to get to start this Sunday against the Green Bay Packers, a team he already beat once this year. Let's see if he can go up to Lambeau and beat the Packers this week and everything. But the Browns just didn't stop there. On the trade market, they made another trade. And I was shocked on this one. But it is what it is. The Cleveland Browns trade again and send Greg Newsome, starting cornerback Greg Newsome, to the Jaguars for cornerback Tyson Campbell. Now, the Browns sent Greg Newsome and a 6th-round pick. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, the Browns sent Greg Newsome and a 2026 6th-round pick to the Jaguars for Tyson Campbell and a 2026 seventh round pick. Browns' second trade in second trade this week. Newsome was a first round pick in the 2021 NFL draft. This was his fifth season with the Browns, and he was playing on his fifth-year option, so Newsome was about to ask for that bag because he has played well this year. He is balled out this year. Campbell was selected in the 2021 draft. 7 picks after Greg Newsome was selected with Jacksonville. 33rd selection in the second round. Campbell has 6 interceptions in 60 games with the Jaguars. He signed a 4-year, $76.5 million extension ahead of the 2024 season, so the Browns got control of Campbell for at least the next 2 years. The deal runs through 2028 with $53.4 million guaranteed. Campbell has dealt with injuries in recent seasons, but has been a mainstay in the Jacksonville defense through 5 games this year, registering 34 tackles, 6 pass breakups, and a forced fumble. And we will see how this trade works and everything. Welcome to Cleveland, Tyson Campbell. Welcome to Cleveland, my man. Greg Newsome, sad to see you go, but hey, you're going to a team that is in playoff contention. So good luck to you down in Jacksonville. It's been real with you and everything, the 5 years and everything. He's been productive as a corner, especially this year. He did his thing this year. Last year, he was in the slot. This year, he moved to the outside after cornerback Martin Emerson had got hurt during training camp and was lost through the year for the Achilles tendon. Greg Newsome filled in, and he filled in quite well. So we'll see how Tyson Campbell fits in with the Browns. Surprising that the Browns making trades like this. 2 trades this week. Man, that is something. That is something. But we're going to move right along because the Browns also have a game this Sunday. And the Cleveland Browns will be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers as they go and visit Heinz Field. As they go up against the Pittsburgh Steelers this Sunday. The Cleveland Browns, 1-4, go up against the first place Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-1 with Aaron Rodgers at the helm this year. Honestly, Pittsburgh has been a pleasant surprise. It's a pleasant surprise, but not a surprise, because the Steelers do what the Steelers do and everything. They do what they do. Strong defense, even though the defense has been kind of off this year. But in the last couple of games, before they had their bye week, the defense has started getting it together and everything. So it will be a formidable task for the Cleveland Browns going into Pittsburgh. And I'm going to be honest with you. For real, I don't really have a good feeling about this game. I really don't. Don't have a good feeling about this game because, honestly, whenever the Browns go into Pittsburgh, going to Heinz Field especially in the last few years, and it's been years that the Browns have had better teams than Pittsburgh, and shit just went haywire and downhill. I mean, the year when Nick Chubb got hurt, the Browns were a better team than Pittsburgh. Way better team than Pittsburgh. But stuff went left. And stuff always seems to go left down at Heinz Field. I remember back when the Browns made the playoffs the first time as a expansion team when the Browns had came back. And the Browns went to the playoffs, I think 2001 or 2002, something like that. And yeah, Browns offense was unstoppable against Pittsburgh all day. But then the Steelers had Tommy Gunn, Tommy Maddox of all people, lead the comeback. And the Steelers came back and beat the Browns on a game where Kelly Holcomb threw for almost over 400 yards or something like that. So things always go haywire in Pittsburgh. For real. Things always go haywire in Pittsburgh. Browns are a 5.5 point dog in the game, in this game, and stuff like that. This game will be interesting because Dylan Gabriel, Browns rookie quarterback, who represented himself well against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not even going to front. He represented himself well. Unfortunately, the Browns didn't get the victory. They should have got the victory, but honestly, defense gave up the last second drive, and the offense didn't show no ingenuity in the fourth quarter. And, I think coaching was kind of conservative in the fourth quarter. And we will see what Dylan Gabriel does against Pittsburgh. I'm going to be honest, because a lot of those routes, those shallow routes that the Browns were running against Minnesota, Pittsburgh going to be sitting on those routes. And Pittsburgh is probably going to crowd the box against Quinshon Judkins. Just so you know, they're going to probably put 8 in the box against Quinshon Judkins. And the Browns are going to have to get something out of their wide receivers. And they're going to probably say, look, we're going to crowd all the tight end stuff and all the short stuff. You're going to challenge us and try to beat us deep. For real. Now, if you can beat us with them wide receivers, them inconsistent wide receivers, God bless you. But Quinshon in Pittsburgh's eyes, I don't think they're going to let Quinshon Judkins dictate anything. And they're going to force Dylan Gabriel to do stuff that he doesn't normally do. He's going to have to start challenging that Steelers secondary and go them passes 15 to 25 yards. Gonna have to. And like I said, it's gonna be a it's going to be a weird game because stuff always goes wrong in Pittsburgh. But hey, that's why they play the game. And if the Cleveland Browns can somehow pull a victory at Pittsburgh and be 2-4, Cleveland Browns are very much alive in the AFC North. They're very much alive in the AFC North. Because I'm going to tell you like this. If Dylan Gabriel continues to play decent and he can improve upon last week's outing against Minnesota, steady progress, in these next 3 games coming up against Pittsburgh, at home against Miami, on the road against New England, head into the bye week. If the Browns can be something like 3-5, they can win 2 out of these next 3 games, 3-5. They are still very much in play in the AFC North. Because you got to think about it. It's only Pittsburgh. Because Baltimore done shit to bed. Lamar is hurt. Cincinnati done shit to bed too. Joe Burrow's hurt. So why can't the Browns make a possible run in the AFC North with a rookie quarterback? It could happen. But Kevin Stefanski, you gotta expand the game plan. You gotta expand the offense. with Dylan. And shit, if he throws an interception or two, so be it. So be it. But you got to expand the offense. You can't run conservative routes and everything and only averaging 14.6 points a game and expect to win in this version of the NFL where the average team scores 23 and the NFL spots you 21 because you can't touch the quarterback. You can't touch the receivers. All the plays and everything, penalties are geared towards helping the offense out. So Stefanski, please, Stefanski, take the handcuffs off Dylan Gabriel. Let him cook. Sometimes, as a coach, you can't force the system on a player, but you have to put the. You can't. How can I say it? I said it wrong. I said it wrong. Sometimes you can't say, "This is my system. This is how we got to work it." Sometimes you got to work your system around the talent that you have. And I want to see what Dylan Gabriel does. I'm very intrigued. I'll give him like a B minus. His last outing against Minnesota, I give him a B minus because he had to go over across the world, face Brian Flores' defense, which ain't no fun at all. And the first start, he had 2 touchdowns. He didn't turn the ball over. And he looked poised. And he looked competent as a quarterback, to be honest. He looked competent as a quarterback. Now, his size and stuff where the see over the middle stuff, that could be a problem and everything. I think they got to move him around in the pocket a little more and everything and stuff like that. But I think stuff can be done with Dylan Gabriel, honestly. I think stuff can be done. But if the Browns can get to 3-5 by the bye week, Browns will still be in the race. 3-5 by the bye week. And this team probably was projected to win not all but 3-4 games. And I see some games on the schedule that the Browns can win. I think they can win the Miami game. And with a little bit of luck this Sunday, if the Browns don't turn the ball over in Pittsburgh and don't do no goofy shit on special teams where they're allowing kickoff returns, they're allowing huge punt returns, or they getting kicks blocked or whatsoever, or field goal kicker missing kicks. Bjorquez, he the most consistent thing we got on this team. You know, Bjorquez is our how can I say? Bjorquez is our Dawson in this era of the Browns. But if the Browns don't turn the ball over, and the defense, status quo, plays well, shows off well, because think about it, Pittsburgh offensive line ain't that much better than the Browns. So Myles Garrett and them can probably feast and everything. But one thing I will say is they can't give up no big plays in the secondary because DK Metcalf is a monster. He's definitely a monster. But the Browns can be in this game. And when you win the game late, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So I'm going to move right along. I'm going to go to college football real quick, where the Ohio State Buckeyes will be taking on Whoa, almost messed my mic up. We'll be taking on the Illinois Fighting Illini this Saturday. Um, Ohio State is Ohio State is 5-0, and Illinois is 5-1. Ohio State is ranked number 1. Illinois is ranked number 17. This will be an interesting game and everything. I think Ohio State is going to come out on top on the end, but it will be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting. Be an interesting game. I think Illinois will give Ohio State that work in the first half. Julian Sand, the quarterback, he's playing pretty well. He's playing pretty well. But I think it'll be close in the first half, and I think Ohio State will gradually pull away in the second half. Illinois ain't no pushover and will be ready to compete. But the Buckeyes, I think, will come out of it unbeaten. And they'll still be 6-0 and still be number 1 and everything. Julian Sand is cooking. And Ohio State defense, Illinois ain't seen nothing like that. Illinois ain't seen none of the Ohio State defense at all on everything. Illinois plays a 3-4 defense with a wide mix of sub packages, trying to create chaos. The Illini are aggressive and they will try to get some sacks, but they've recorded just 2 interceptions so far. But they have 4-7 fumbles, in total 15 sacks. Anything, but like I said, Illinois has not seen no defense like Ohio State. I got Ohio State winning this game, and they'll be 6-0. Hopefully, they'll be 6-0. I ain't gonna say they will be because stuff can happen and everything in college football and stuff like that. Because think about it. Could you imagine that Penn State traveled to UCLA last weekend? UCLA hadn't won a game all year. We're starting quarterback Nico Maliava, and I'm going to be honest. It was like Nico Maliava looked like he was at Tennessee last week when he played for UCLA. The way he was just driving easily on Penn State, I was like, man. Shocked. And Penn State got beat by a team that hadn't won a game all year. And Drew Aller, the class of 2026 quarterback class, didn't look so great. Just being honest. Didn't look so great at all. At all. But Ohio State is playing a ranked team. They're playing number 17 ranked Illinois. And I expect the Buckeyes to come out on top and be 6-0 against the Fighting Illini. Won't be easy, but Ohio State will get that W. They will get that W and everything. Now, I'm going to move right along, and we're going to change sports as we go over to baseball. The Cleveland Guardians. Our star player, Jose Ramirez, is not happy with the way things are working out with the Guardians right now. And I think primarily he's not happy is because he's unhappy with the Guardians front office. Because they haven't made a splash. They haven't gotten him no help. Think about it. This year, before the season started, they traded his second best hitter in the lineup in Josh Naylor, who's playing right now for the Seattle Mariners, as the Mariners are set to go against the Detroit Tigers in Game 5 tomorrow night. They traded the best second baseman in the American League in Andres Ramirez. They traded him. They let him go. And guess what? Ramirez is playing shortstop right now due to Bo Bichette being injured, but he's playing shortstop right now for the Toronto Blue Jays, who sent my Yankees home packing. And by the way, shouts out to the Toronto Blue Jays. They was the better team against the Yankees. Shouts out to the Blue Jays and everything. But Jose is unhappy, and he says in 2028, he doesn't know if he's going to resign. Now, I told y'all back when I did a short video back in July, August, if I was Jose, I'd demand a trade. And I'm going to be honest with you. If the Guardians don't make a splash for Jose this year that he would be satisfied with, get him some help in the lineup, don't be surprised if Jose may ask for a trade after 2026 season is over with. To be honest, don't be surprised. Matter of fact, I can read some of the stuff here that I have on the Jose Ramirez situation and everything. And it's, how can I say, it's tripped out. Here, Jose in the Sports Illustrated interview, in the Sports Illustrated section, in Sports Illustrated magazine, Cleveland Guardians fans are nervous because of an interview of superstar third baseman Jose Ramirez surfacing on social media. The Guardians did the unthinkable this offseason, deleting a 15.5 game deficit to win the American League Central. However, they lost to the Detroit Tigers in the Wild Card Series and now have to answer some serious questions to their franchise cornerstone. In an interview surfacing on social media, Ramirez speaks about his frustration with Cleveland's lack of spending in order to compete. Ramirez claims that Guardians management misled him, stating that the team was supposed to take advantage of his hometown discount to assemble a team capable of contending. The 33-year-old expressed that things will change in his 2028 contract extension talks. According to rumors among speculations online, this interview is months old. However, it is resurfaced after Cleveland's wild card exit against the Tigers. Now, quote, Luis on Twitter has shared this. This is what I'm worried about if the front, according to Jose, saying, this is what I'm worried about. If the front office doesn't make a splash this offseason, it may be too late. Jose will consider leaving. And Jose said the general manager didn't do what we talked back then. He didn't do, Ramirez didn't do it. They were supposed to take advantage of my discount and build a team to win. He said, you already had the young guys. Go pay some bats, do or die. Like I said, the Guardians, they got to get Jose some help. Because that lineup that they trudged out there in the last game against Detroit was a bunch of players, almost half of them played in the minor leagues. I mean, nothing against George Valera. He showed up pretty well in the series against Detroit, but he was a minor leaguer most of the year. Chase DeLauder made his major league debut in that series against Detroit. You had Rodriguez. I don't even know what he was doing in there. You had Rodriguez playing. You had C.J. Kafis. Now I like C.J. Kafis because he could play outfield and first base, and I think next year he probably will, unless the Guardians do make a move and get somebody, a power hitting first baseman or something. They need a right hand. They need a right hand bat with power. To be honest, that's what the Guardians need. They need a right hand bat with power. But C.J. Kafis, I like him. I like Valera. Chase DeLauder, if he can stay healthy, he will probably have a good season next year. Chase DeLauder, if he can stay healthy, he'll have a good season next year. But they gotta get Ramirez some hitters. For real. They gotta get him some backup in that lineup. Because if you really look at that Guardians lineup, and you gotta pray that the Guardians keep Stephen Kwan as well. You gotta pray that the Guardians keep Stephen Kwan as well. I hope they keep Stephen Kwan. I love Stephen Kwan. He's a leadoff hitter, table setter, and if the Guardians trade Kwan, what is the Guardians doing? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be honest. If they trade Kwan and they don't add nobody to this team in the offseason, don't be surprised if Jose Ramirez asks out before that contract is up. Because he gave the Guardians a generous discount, and the Guardians have done nothing but subtract. So, all I'm saying is, do right by Jose. He's been here 13 years. Do right by the man. He stayed while Lindor, you had to trade Lindor because Lindor was going to leave. He stayed. You traded Josh Naylor. Why? And like I said, I'm not asking the Guardians to go out and go New York Mets spending. I'm not asking the Guardians to go out and go LA Dodgers spending. I'm not asking the Guardians to go spend like the New York Yankees. But just try. To be honest, the Guardians haven't tried to win anything really, hypothetically, for real, anything significant since 2017. Think about that. 2017, that's almost 8 years ago. And that's a year removed from when the Guardians almost won the World Series. But they blew a 3-1 lead to the Chicago Cubs or whatnot. But the Guardians did try to win in 2016 and 2017. But here in 2025, they've just sat on their laurels. To be honest, they sat on their laurels. And then luckily the Guardians got hot in August and September and overtook Detroit. But they got sent right back home by Detroit. So get Jose Ramirez some help. Because look, Jose is 33. He's getting no younger. And it's starting to look like the Guardians are wasting Jose Ramirez's years here. It seems like they're wasting his years here. Now, they've been to the playoffs and whatnot, but they've been to the playoffs in the 2020s on shoestring budgets. They've continued to cut payroll. And I mean, Guardians got to get it together. They got to help Jose out. Because I'm telling you, if they trade Stephen Kwan and they don't add nothing else to this team, don't be surprised if Jose asks for a trade during 2026. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because a person can only give you ride so long and be frustrated. And apparently, I don't blame Jose for being frustrated. I'm just going to be honest. I don't blame Jose at all for being frustrated. But like I said, Cleveland Guardians, do right by this man I'm about to show here. Do right by my man. He gave you a generous discount on the money that he asked for. Do right. Now it's time for the Guardians to put up their end of the bargain. Do right by Jose, damn it. That's all I got to say. Do right by Jose. Now I'm going to move right along to basketball as the Cleveland Cavaliers started their preseason a couple days ago. And they took on the Chicago Bulls. The Cleveland Browns today will play the Chicago Bulls in the preseason affair. The Cleveland Cavaliers lost to the Chicago Bulls 118-117 in the first game of the preseason on Tuesday, October 7th. And everything you know, hey. Not the Guardians. Cleveland Cavaliers will be opening the regular season pretty soon. Because they have an exhibition tilt with Chicago today. Then they have an exhibition tilt on Sunday against the Boston Celtics. And then an exhibition tilt on October 14th against the Detroit Pistons before opening the season on Wednesday, October 22nd, as the Cavs will be facing their Eastern Conference rival, New York Knicks. Hey, it's going to be a big season for the Cavs this year. This is going to be a big season for the Cavs this year, and I'm expecting more than a second round exit. Even though I know no matter what they do in the regular season, they're going to be ultimately judged by what they do in late April, May, and June. But I think the Cavs going to get it done this year. Whether they go to the finals, Eastern Conference finals, we'll see. But I think they're going to get farther than the second round this year. Which brings me to the last of the show. The quick picks. Man, look at me on the quick picks. I was horrible last week. But last week, I was 2-4. Overall, I'm 14-16-1. Took a couple tough games on the chin. The Denver-Philadelphia game, I have faith in the Eagles. And the Eagles let me down. Now this week, quick pick for today, the Thursday night game, is the same Philadelphia Eagles who go to visit the New York Giants. Philadelphia Eagles are 4-1 and go against the New York Giants, who I think are 1-4. My pick for today will be, I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a close game, NFC East rivalry game and everything, but I think Philadelphia has enough to come out on top. I think Saquon Barkley, who's had really a disappointing season so far, but I think he will have a good game against the Giants. And Jalen Hurts and them going to get their stuff together going in the air. They got to get the ball to A.J. Brown. They got to get the ball to the other wide receiver. Oh, my God. What's my dude name that went to Alabama? They got to get the ball to the wide receivers against the Giants because the Giants' front line is imposing. And, Philly runs it all the time and everything and stuff like that, but they're going to have to give the Giants some air work in order to win this game. But I got Philadelphia winning this game by a strange score of 21-18. They'll win it in Philadelphia fashion, 21-18 over the New York Giants. And I'll be 1-0 for the week. But, because I lost a tough one last week, I lost a tough one to the Rams because of the Rams. Got to take Jose off of there. Okay. I lost a tough one last week. But that brings me to the conclusion of All About Sports 216. That brings me to the conclusion of that today. All About Sports 216. Like I said, check me out every Thursday at 6 p.m. That's right. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. It was a struggle for me to get to it today because Brother Man just had surgery a couple days ago. But I'm up here and doing what I do and everything and stuff like that. It kind of keeps me alive and stuff like that. But the surgery went well and everything. So thanks to the Lord Almighty God by keeping me upright and everything and keeping me focused and everything. Also, if you haven't already, if you're watching on X, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, hold up. Subscribe to the AllAboutSports Media 2 YouTube channel. I don't know why I did that. Subscribe to the AllAboutSports Media 2 YouTube channel. I need all the subscribers I can get, and damn it, I ain't too proud to beg and everything. Also, before I get out of here, I'm going to remind y'all on Sunday afternoon, early Sunday afternoon at 12 p.m., be ready for the All About Sports 216 Cleveland Browns pregame show. That's right. All About Sports 216 Cleveland Browns pregame show. Live at 12 p.m. Sunday afternoon, as I'll talk more in detail about the upcoming matchup for the Browns against the Pittsburgh Steelers. As you see, I got Dylan Gabriel, Myles Garrett, Aaron Rodgers, TJ Watt, Pittsburgh Rowdies, whatnot. But should be an interesting game. Don't got a good feeling about this game, but I expect the Browns to come in and compete. And I think it will probably, if the Browns can keep it close, at the end, anything can happen. If they keep it close at the end, anything can happen. Well, that concludes my show for today. I'd like to thank you all that watched and everything. And need y'all to hit me up on the chat more. Hit me up on the chat. I don't bite. Hit me up, hit a brother up on the chat and everything. Give me your comments and everything. Give me your comments. You can still comment if you watch this video later on the game or what's not, or the Cavs, or on whoever and stuff like that, on the Browns trades or whatnot. Also, shout out to Miss Aja Wilson, as she scored 34, and I think she had 15 last night as the Las Vegas Aces defeated the Phoenix Mercury 90-88 to go up 3-0 in the series. And I think it's a wrap, to be honest, because Aja Wilson hit the game-winning basket against Phoenix. They won 90-88. And I'm going to be honest, I think that series is a wrap. Las Vegas is up 3-0. And I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell y'all like this. I think Aja Wilson may go down as the best player in one of the best players in WNBA history. For real. Because three titles in 4 years. This takes you back to the years when the Houston Comets with Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thompson, Cheryl Swoops was running circles around the WNBA back then. This takes you back to then, and this is how it looks right now with the Las Vegas Aces. But they got one more game to go tomorrow night in Phoenix, and I think they're going to get it. And because I think Phoenix star forward Siku Sabali or something, I think she has a concussion, and I don't know if she's going to play or not. Highly doubtful. But shout out to Aja Wilson. She is that lady. She is that woman for real. She is that woman on them WNBA courts. But anyway, this is your man Keith Allen signing off. Everybody have a good night. Be safe, sleep well, keep God first, and I'll see you on Sunday afternoon when I do the Cleveland Browns pregame show against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody have a good night. Be well. Enjoy the game this evening. Enjoy all the baseball games and stuff like that, because you got the Dodgers right now playing against the Philadelphia Phillies and everything. One thing I do love about the Philadelphia Phillies, I love them road 1970s uniforms. I gotta get me a jersey. Romeo Rodriguez, you gotta help me out. You gotta get me a Philly jersey. But I want a Mike Schmidt jersey. That's who I want. I want a Mike Schmidt jersey. But anyway, this your man Keith Allen signing out for AllAboutSports216 The Show. Everybody have a good night. Be safe. Be well. And like I said, keep God first. Peace.
We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North.